Wow, wow, wow. Monty McNair has done it again. I'm in shock. I am in shock. It's time to say he is officially Sacramento proud. And good job for the Bucks too, because they had a little, congestion in that guard position after they got a little troublemaker out there tripping people. You know who I'm talking about, Mr. Grayson Allen. He's played well for the Bucks. And with White Dante's injury in the playoffs last season, that made him expendable. Without Brook Lopez in the fold, well, they're like, man, let's go get ourselves a nice little veteran big who has championship experience, who is an NBA champion. I think he fits really well with the Bucks as well. If they get like that semi-healthy version of Serge Ibaka, and then for the Detroit Pistons, they get a nice bench, big man. Just let's just leave it at that. Let's just leave it at that. Oh man, Marvin Bagley. New beginnings. Dad's out there celebrating ready with the Pistons jerseys, I'm assuming. I don't know. I kind of heard about it, but I haven't really seen it yet. Doesn't matter because Monty McNair just pulled off another solid trade. The details of this trade, obviously, the Kings receiving Donte DiVincenzo, Josh Jackson, Trey Lyles, Bagley going to Detroit, Clippers getting Rodney Hood and Semi Ojeleye, and the Bucks getting Serge Ibaka and 2 second-round picks. Wow. What a move, man. It's been a hell of a ride the last 24 and a half hours. Well, let's just say 48 hours, right? Last night was the first time in a long time that I feel like Kings fans were having fun. And I put myself in that very niche group of people because being a Kings fan and covering this team has been really difficult. As I told you guys, I've been super uninspired for the first time since 2013. This has brought me back from the dead. Like literally, it has. As soon as it happened, I was so happy. No disrespect to Tyrese, but when you can get yourself an all-star at 25, gonna be 26 this year, it's just a no-brainer. It's just a no-brainer, man. You guys saw what Domantas Sabonis can do, man. Domas is something else. The fox and the ox. The new era has begun. But again, breaking news: Donte DiVincenzo, White Dante, Monty McNair finally gets the guy he wanted last year. Does this make up for a losing bogey for nothing, essentially? I think it does. I think it does because now you get a player who actually wasn't as good as he was going into last year. Donte elevated himself. He showed the capacity that he's actually really good when healthy, right? Really good role player who's a pesky defender, who just understands how to play the game the right way. High basketball IQ, was shooting above 40%. Obviously, it's a lot better, and it helps when you got arguably the best player in the world in Giannis Antetokounmpo playing with you, right? Like you get a lot of open shots. Now with Sabonis and Fox congesting the paint, attacking the paint, he's gonna get open shots. And if he's healthy, he's your starting shooting guard without question, without question. And you now have a guy like Justin Holiday, who again, it depends on what they do in terms of if whether or not they move Rashawn Holmes, but their defense and their depth at the wing position has drastically improved. I get it. Like Justin struggled yesterday. I feel like he was very nervous. Turning the ball over. That's not him. He's not a high usage turnover player. But what we did see already is what he's great at, and that's just playing defense with joy, fighting over every single screen. I pointed that out on Twitter. It was just a marvelous thing to watch, and it's contagious because now you got a guy like Davion Mitchell who is a pest, right, defensively. Justin Holiday, a true pest defensively. He's tough-minded. He's athletic. He's long. Now you add Josh Jackson to that fold, who, again, extremely inconsistent, but you could get something out of him. You got Jeremy Lamb now. So you got a lot of nice bench pieces that you haven't had in a long time. I think Mo Harkless potentially could get moved with Rashawn Holmes. I like what I'm saying, man. I truly do. I truly love what I'm saying. And the Bucks, again, I think got a very good piece if he can stay healthy and if you get that version of Serge Ibaka. I think the Pistons, it's a risk it, why not deal, right, with Detroit. Let's see what I have in Marvin Bagley type of thing. We have 25 to 28 games left in the season on an expiring deal. Will become a restricted free agent, as will Donte, both from the 2018 NBA draft, right? Donte, I think he went 17 or 16, something like that. Obviously, we know where Marvin Bagley went before Luka. Oh, man. Wow, how's everybody doing, by the way? Shy. Okay. Let's put the comments up here. Let's put the comments down here, actually. Shy. Let's go. Good riddance, Bagley. Let's go. Welcome to Sack Donte. I miss Bagley. Said no one ever. Bye. Just what it feels to have a real GM. Sheesh. Can we actually acquire solid players through trades, drafts, and not praise signings like George Hill of the world? Now just go get a good coach. Yeah. So to be fair, George Hill is a good basketball player. He's always been a good basketball player, and when they got him, he's a good basketball player. He just didn't work out in Sacramento. As soon as he got traded, dude started shooting above 40%, and that was with Milwaukee, right? Situation, talent level. The Kings weren't very good in 2017 when they signed him. They had just drafted De'Aaron Fox. They were going through a youth movement, a rebuild. And for his individual statistics, it wasn't very good. So it translated to fans saying, oh, he sucks. And yeah, he did struggle, though. Like, he couldn't shoot. As soon as he left, it just felt like everything fell off, right? Like, he got paid, so he had all this pressure to be that dude. He won that dude. It worked out, though. It worked out, man. I am excited. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. For the first time in 15 years, I am excited. And I'm gonna say right now, I am still concerned about the coaching on this roster for the remainder of the year. But this roster got more talented. They got deeper at the position of need, which was the wing position. And now they have a solid chance to get the actual 10 seed. And when you get the 10 seed, from there, I don't know. But getting the 10 seed guarantees you a shot, a chance at the playoffs. You win 2 games, you're in as an 8 seed. You jump those spots, and you go and face Phoenix, and it's going to be a rowdy crowd, back and forth. It's going to be legendary. It's going to be legendary. Or if you get Golden State, which I hope they don't because they'd get destroyed. I actually like Phoenix, that matchup. Well, with this, it'd be dope either way. You know what I'm saying? Like Golden State Kings first round, whatever. Even if it's a sweep, it's going to be a nice learning experience for the boys to go into next season. Those are the habits that you want to build. I am hyped. Talk about how things change in less than 36 hours. 2 weeks ago, we were all depressed. Now we're like, damn, like there's a shimmer of hope. And that is what you want. That is what you want. I appreciate if you guys can like, share, subscribe for more content like this. We're going to do a lot more video breakdowns. As I told you guys, I am re-inspired. I am back from the dead. I'm still doing the 2-minute drill, which has kicked my ass in so many ways in terms of timing and just, dedicating so much time to it. But it's going to flow a lot better now with episode 1 being finished, which means more NBA content on the Basketball Zone YouTube channel. Again, congrats to the Bucks. Honestly, they're still the team to beat in the East until the Sixers make a move, if they trade Ben Simmons or not. But the Bucks got a good one today. The Kings got a good one today. But Josh Jackson, Trey Lyles. Let's talk about Trey Lyles real fast before we end this. And again, we'll be going back and forth for the remainder of today, which is the NBA deadline. Trey Lyles, nice stretch 4. Pump fakes 1,000 times is what I was told by my boy from the Pistons. It's okay, though. It's okay. Will he serve a serviceable role? Potentially. Will he beat out Shemezi Metu? Who knows? Because Shemezi Metu has athleticism, and you saw what he could do off the weak side from a guy like Domantas Sabonis. So I liked what I saw there. But either way, it's a move that is very prosperous and very positive on so many levels. You get White Donte. Now, some of the questions that could arise, which I personally don't see an issue with, and then some insiders will say, well, Davion Mitchell needs to start. And I'm like, I mean, he's a rookie. If he plays his role off the bench, because what I don't want is who's really going to, like, Donte has playmaking skills, but that's not how you optimize him best. And if Davion is your point guard, he can finish games. Like, I'm not saying no. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay if he gets 30 plus. But if you do start Davion, then who's your backup point? Like, who's running the show in the second unit? Unless you always have, like, one or the other out there, which could work as well. But I don't even want to think about egos being hurt already. Like, I mean, he's a first-year player. If his best role for this year's, for the remainder of the year, is coming off the bench, just come off the bench. Like, I have no issues. I don't think you have issues with that. You know, some people can tell you otherwise, but I like the idea of bringing that scoring punch, defensive intensity off your bench, finishing games with Davion Mitchell. But again, you're going to hear, you know, as he continues to progress and play better, right, because he has been playing well, you're going to hear the chirping of he needs to start. And, you know, that's what Kings fans do. That's what a lot of insiders put out there to just create chaos and all that stuff, right? But I think his best role right now is to come off your bench and play big minutes, right? To give Fox that first initial, if you take him out at the 4-minute mark, to come off the bench and just spark that team with buckets, with great intensity. But I could see them start him as well. And then you just kind of, you know, bring in more depth. So if you do that, if you start him, like, I wouldn't be mad either way. But I just think right now, him coming off the bench would be the best thing. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's a good-ass trade. What do you think about Monty? Now, again, I apologized on the Sabonis show, right? I was just like, I just couldn't believe that he pulled the trigger on Tyrese. That tells me, again, that they're headed in the right direction, that they're not afraid to make the right moves, and that was the right move. And I was in the minority saying that. But that showed to me, like, that proved to me that he wants to win. And again, I am in the minority still, because there's still a lot of chatter about blah, blah, Fox. Like, dude, you bet on talent. Tyrese has limitations. He's a great kid, great personality, embodies Sacramento. But the reality is this. De'Aaron Fox is a better basketball player today. Whether or not that translates to who's better down the road, it doesn't even matter, because if the Kings start winning, that's what matters. And Monty, and I would have bet on talent as well, because think about this. People keep saying, oh, they didn't want Fox, they wanted Tyrese. Well, no, no shit. He's on a rookie deal. Now, let me put the analogy and the example out there. Well, it's two of them, right? What if Tyrese Halliburton, De'Aaron Fox, both are on rookie scale deals, right? Who are you really choosing? Let's be honest. Okay, that's one question. That's half the question. Second part of the question. What if today, and this is today, they were both on 30 plus mil max contract deals? Who are you trading for? Where are the Pacers currently? Do they want to just laterally move a big contract for a big contract? No, they're in the rebuild mode. They're trying to shed salary, right? Which is why they're trying to get rid of Buddy now. Think about those two things right now. If they were both rookie scale deals and if they were both max contracts, full circle comes back to what? It comes back to De'Aaron Fox being the better player on February 10th of 2022. And that's just a fact. I don't care if he had 17 assists in 3 games. Let's talk about all the bad games he's had all year long. He's had at least 10 really bad games this season. At least. Nobody seems to talk about that. Nobody. He's limited. Once he becomes the guy and he becomes a focal defensive point of the scouting report, things are going to change. I believe 42% is fool's gold from beyond the arc because a lot of those shots are open. Yes, he's been working on a shot and trying to get it up, sooner because his shot release is slow still. But once they start focusing on him as the guy, you will see more blocks, you will see more misses, tougher shots for sure. And what was the biggest criticism that we had of Tyrese all year long? Like, all bullshit aside, what was it? That he wasn't aggressive enough early in games. You think that really is a recipe for success to just turn it on? Same with De'Aaron, right? The last 2 years, that was the biggest criticism. Okay, you got to start the game being aggressive. You have to stop passing up open shots. I don't know if that's in his nature because his tendencies are to get everybody involved. And I'm talking about Tyrese Halliburton, right? It's crazy how the narrative was that it just seems like the Kings got fleeced because they gave up the All-Star. In reality, the Kings got the All-Star. And that's what it is, man. Give me 1 second. Here comes Vince Miracle to the party. Let's go to new scene. And let's assign him to guest 1. Here he is. What's up, my brother? Let's get a DJ. Let's get a round of applause for Monty McNair. And let's get a little bicycle horn there, man. And just a little party nose as well. Let's go. How you doing, bro?
Yo, the Sixers and the Nets, bro.
They made a trade?
Yeah. Ben Simmons to the Brooklyn Nets.
No.
That just happened. So in case you guys didn't hear about it, and I'm breaking news for all of you guys that are just talking about the Kings. Sorry to come in with this much energy and it's hot. But the 76ers are trading Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 future first-round picks for Paul Millsap and James Harden.
Wow. There it is.
Hit that DJ button again, Leo. Hit the DJ button again.
Let me see. Let me see this.
Wow.
Oh my God. Bro. Oh my goodness. Once again, the Brooklyn Nets are trading James Harden for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, 2 first-round picks. Wow. The Nets potentially just could win the NBA championship.
How much better are the Sixers now?
How much better are the Nets now?
Oh, my gosh, bro. That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
I
just said, wait. It's funny. I just said the Bucks were still the team to beat unless something happens. And this and that was 7 minutes ago, right? My mind, it changed. I mean, one thing I will say, though, and this is something that Raw Fedor always tells me, championship habits. And that matters, right? That is the biggest thing. Who is that player, even now, with Ben Simmons in the fold, that's going to dive on that floor and win games? Get that insane block like Giannis. Give it his all every single minute of his life. they don't have that player because Durant's never been that player. Kyrie's not that player. Ben's not that player, right? They need that guy. That
Hold
could
on,
be
hold
the
on, hold on, hold on,
difference.
hold on. You're saying
That
that
could be the
that KD
difference.
doesn't have championship habits?
I'm saying KD doesn't have that Giannis motor. Like those habits that
What?
he doesn't though. He doesn't. And this is this is NBA coaches saying this in like NBA circles. They don't have that guy, which is why they lost last year.
They didn't have that guy next to Harden or next to KD. KD is.
You're talking about talent. I'm not talking about talent.
No, no,
I'm
no, no.
talking
I'm
about
talking
championship
about the
habits.
wanting to win. Me too. Me too. KD put this team on his back with James Harden with one leg and scored almost 50 points to beat the Bucks at full strength, taking them to where
I mean the Bucks weren't at full strength.
That's not talent. That KD does have championship habits. Maybe Harden doesn't.
Harden doesn't. Kyrie doesn't. Ben Simmons doesn't.
Has championship skill, but KD has it. Like I won't let that blasphemy go away. KD has it.
What has he done without the Warriors? I mean, and that's a real question, right? Like, I'm not questioning that he's not arguably one, if not the best player, but I just don't know what he is like without the as his team. He's been so close, but it's that extra habit, right? Like, and again, you could be right, but at the end of the day, he has yet to prove it without Steph Curry and the Warriors.
Look at this though. I mean, let's move away because we can go into a whole entire debate about Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not mad at that. I mean, it's debatable. Honestly, I think it's Curry.
I think KD definitely has those championship habits. I mean, he knows how to. He took a team to the finals when he was 24 years old, 25 years old. I mean, he's that guy. He knows exactly what he is. He's a leader. He can be everything you need him to be. He makes you a championship team. But regardless, I don't know. Like, are the Bucks even still the favorites? Because I was just doing a show. I've done a show for the last hour and 20 minutes covering the trade deadline, covering this Kings trade, and then I was reading your text message. I said, you know what? I got to come join my boy. I ain't gonna leave my boy hanging. You know what I mean? So I came and showed up. But I was saying the same exact thing you just said. The Bucks are the favorites to me. They've set themselves up to be they were much better than the rest of these teams. Just continuity. They have Giannis. I mean, they could potentially just got better with getting Serge Ibaka, another veteran big that can stretch floor, play defense, and things like that. But, bro,
that's crazy.
Nets now with Drummond, a walking 2020. Ben Simmons that can now play that Harden role other than the fact that he can't shoot. Then to add shooting with Seth Curry, not giving up Patty Mills. Oh, yeah,
they're the favorites. They're the favorites on paper. The Bucks are the favorites on the court because of their cohesiveness, and we know that works because I think people sleep on Holiday in terms of just an overall player. Like, this guy's just a beast. But
yes,
I don't know. We can agree, disagree, but the Bucks are favorites on the court, but on paper, the Nets just became the team to beat once again. Because if you add two scoring,
now number 3. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, like the Sixers, I don't know if it's gonna work, bro. Like they got a great player, but do you think it'll mesh like right off the bat with Joel? You know what I'm saying? Like, Harden has bad habits, especially defensively. It could help him that he's going to a good culture in terms of like defensive principles, but I don't know.
Hold on. I've seen people saying softest player ever. You are tripping if you think KD is soft. I'm sorry. But I'm seeing the chat saying that
he's soft. He's soft.
KD is soft?
Yeah, he's soft.
I think he's emotional. I don't think he's soft. But I do think it works. I think that tandem of Harden and Joel Embiid definitely works, right? Like, every good point guard wants a great big, and I said that with the Fox deal, and I'm saying it even now. I mean, look how good they were with Simmons, and Simmons wasn't even willing to take jump shots. At least Harden will be willing to take shots, and those shots are going to be open.
He'll be very willing.
And check this out, dude. Like, you got to. I think about this as well. Harden makes centers better. I mean, look what he got. Clint Capella. Clint Capella got a max. Like he just knows how to find his rollers. And Joel Embiid can be a pick and popper. He can be a roller. Look how good he made. Ryan Anderson got paid because of James Harden. I mean, like,
but they surrounded the team around him, though, right? Like on his skill sets. This is Joel's team, and the game they play is a tad different. Like, yes, Joel does the dirty thing because he's a great defender, but he's not doing like when I think about James, it's such a stagnant game, right? Like even in the I do think their pick and roll game will be great, but it's is James Harden willing to cut like when they come on a hard double, maybe sometimes triple team on Joel Embiid?
No, but
like
Bible is.
I just don't know if like Harden's willing to make those sacrifices. Like he could be and be like, F it, like I'm gonna start playing how I did at Arizona State, where I literally did everything. Weak side, dunked on people, played hard nosed defense. That version of himself has been gone for a long time. Can he somewhere in his toolbox, resurrect that? Like how re-inspire, like how I was uninspired for this majority of the year. I'm re-energized. I'm re-inspired after last night, and the content's gonna be hot on this channel for sure.
I mean, look, I just think that man, I think Doc and Daryl Morey just knew that the conversation had to have been ongoing, because you don't come out of a game saying we need a guard
Facts.
right before the trade deadline. You know what I mean? Like they knew, I mean, he's worked with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. It's not like he doesn't know a 1-2 combo, Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan. And dude,
yeah,
I think James Harden he knows how to play point guard. He doesn't need to have all that wear and tear on his body and I think that's another thing that frustrated him was Kyrie wasn't there. KD was injured again, and he had to be the guy all over. Again. And people are hating on it because that team is losing. And now you're going to have a legit big three of younger guys, and Harris and Joel Embiid having an MVP season. I do think shooting now is a big problem. I'll say that. I think shooting is a huge problem now for them because they lost Seth Curry. Is Korkmaz going to be that guy? They never got Patty Mills back in the deal. You chose Thibault, so Thibault's staying in that rotation. I mean, they didn't have to give up Maxey. Is Maxey really that good of a shooter? No, he's improving, but he's really not that shooter. I don't know. We'll see.
They got Isaiah. I mean, they have Isaiah Joe, right?
Can I make the proposal?
Go ahead.
Sorry to keep interrupting you. I'm just so amped about this trade.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Paul Millsap, Isaiah Joe for Malik Beasley.
Yeah, that works. But do T-Wolves do that?
I mean, get some veterans, and it's still a young player. They don't really play Malik Beasley. They play him like 22 minutes a night.
In theory, sounds great for the Sixers. They get that scoring punch. So just give me your thoughts on this Bagley, White Donte, Serge. Because as I said, Serge is a great pickup if they get the right version of Serge for the Bucks. Just a great pickup, and then great pickup for the Kings, right? But then it's a whatever for the Pistons. Just give me your thoughts on it.
I loved it as soon as it happened. I mean, to find out that you get White Donte, the guy that Monty's been wanting. I mean, this was supposed to be the Bogdanovich
shot above
deal.
40% last year until he got hurt.
I mean, I think the biggest takeaway from me on this trade was you have to applaud Monty McNair for turning a guy that we all believe to be a third-round pick type of player.
Yep.
And Marvin
Shout out to Ty.
A third-round pick type of player and Marvin Bagley, and you turn that into two defensive wings in Donte DiVincenzo and Josh Jackson, who I'm not hyping up Josh Jackson to be anything, but I like Josh Jackson as a serviceable role player whenever he's needed and the injuries allow him to be on the court. I'm okay with him being out there. He's like Mo Harkless in my eyes, honestly.
Right.
And then you get Trey Lyles.
My Pistons guy, real quick, was like, "You're gonna have a love-hate relationship with Josh Jackson." I said, nah, because he's a bench player. That's how you optimize him. Have low expectations, and when he does have a great game, which he's probably gonna have like a 30-piece, it's gonna be okay.
Hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the freaking button, bro. Hit the button. The Boston Celtics are trading Josh Richardson to the San Antonio Spurs for Derek White.
Wow. What the? Why didn't the Kings get in the Derek White sweepstakes?
Bro.
Oh, my God.
The Boston Celtics are trading Josh Richardson.
Who broke that? Shams?
Shams reports that right now.
Let's see that.
And then Adrian Wojnarowski just comes out and says that the Brooklyn Nets are still being very aggressive in more deal makings today, armed with 2 new first-round picks. So they're going to look to trade those picks and get some more out there.
Wow, let's put the screen share on so people can see what is going on. Wow, let's see.
This is why you love the NBA trade deadline. This is it. Who thought Derek White was moving today for Josh Richardson? There has to be something more to that deal. I mean, first round pick or something.
Yeah, as my boy DJ Killa says, Derek White better than. Oh my God! Like, what a move for the Celtics, huh? You actually get defense, you get versatility. Like, I like Josh, but like Josh hasn't been. He's been a shell of himself since the Heat. Again, culture. Wow. How long until the narrative starts of how the Pistons won this deal by getting the young power forward with potential? They just got a 3rd-round pick. What are they talking about?
I think they're just saying that they believe that it's going to be. So it's 1 first-round pick. So Chris Haynes just reported it. It's Josh Richardson and a future first-round pick, maybe even this year, for San Antonio Spurs, Derek White. So a first-round pick and Josh Richardson get you Derek White? That's crazy. I would have, honestly, this sounds bad because I really like him as a fit, but I would have done Justin Holiday in a first-round pick for Derek White.
Facts.
That's crazy.
We got 3
That's crazy.
Yeah, like Greg says, we got 3 players for Marvin Bagley. We're talking about Takis and the side salad, man. Holy moly!
And so again,
injuries, COVID.
Adrian Wojnarowski saying that the Nets are going to be aggressive with those first round picks, and look to move them. I mean, could they move Bruce Brown in a first and get something else? Does Bruce Brown in a first round pick get you Malik Beasley? Or I mean, they don't really need more shooting. I think they probably need another forward, right, and more center.
Wow,
Aldridge,
man.
You can't rely on him, man. I mean, there's
Let's do it again, bro. That's an underrated like a nerdy guy trade because we love Derek White. He's not a mainstream player that guys are going to talk about, but Derek White is a stud. Holy smokes,
bro!
Hey, I said this last night. It was a joy to watch Justin Holiday play defense. I know he effed up a lot offensively. He was super nervous. He had just gotten 10 minutes, his plays, and he was turning the ball over. He's not going to do that a lot. Like, that's not what he does. But watching him play defense is what he does. And that guy fights. He must have a lot of bruises and a lot of pain after games because that guy runs through screen and he gets screened. But he plays so hard, man. And you just got to appreciate a guy like him, right? Like, well-spoken, understands how to play the game the right way. I was talking to some coaches, like, they just love him. And you could tell that he's going to get a lot of minutes on his team, which rightfully so, he should. And, as I said earlier, and I want your thoughts on this, but the chirping of Davion Mitchell continuing to play well, I think he's best suited off the bench this year and moving forward, starting with Fox, but the question is going to arise, right? Because he's an older rookie. He's playing well now. Do you start him or you bring him off your bench?
I keep bringing him off the bench. Yeah,
Me
I think
too.
You want that shooting. I think you bring the shooting next to De'Aaron Fox. 3-and-D is
but
everything.
There are chirpings that his feelings could get hurt, which I think would be ridiculous.
Would you rather care about the status of being a starter or the
finishing games and
the
playing 30
consistency
plus
of
minutes a
minutes?
night. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's minutes. I think Davion knows that. I've never viewed Davion as one that one that can get his feelings hurt. If I'm being honest, so
Yeah, me too. And like that,
so in
yeah.
that deal as well, Romeo Langford also goes to the San Antonio Spurs. That just came
Oh,
out as well.
nice. I was like,
So they get
someone
another young
else got to
piece.
go. Like, someone else got to go with potential, with third round potential. Again, like, if people know anything about Romeo, he was so hyped up coming out of Indiana. Like, this kid was like, oh, he's the next Kobe Bryant. And I was like, what the are you talking about? Like, I get it. People get enamored with size, with tools, but when you watch him play basketball, the kid can't damn shoot, man. Don't ever say that again. S Noah says I have a massive Derek White sports card collection. Started buying his stuff years ago on the cheap when the Boston and mainstream could really bring his value to him. Excited for that. There you go.
Hey, look, he really can.
He bought the dip.
He's going to. He's
Hey,
going to.
talk.
But
Let's talk about the stocks videos that Vince made, right? And how it just came to fruition, and how people are starting to understand what both Vince and I said seconds into the trade. If you remove your emotions away from the trade for Halliburton, and you just see it at face value, and you don't listen to JJ Redick in the national media, and I love JJ, by the way, but that was one of his worst takes ever. You understand that the Kings fleeced them on like so many levels, because they didn't even give up a first round pick. They traded Buddy in terms of like that needed to happen just because he was clocked out in terms of not wanting to be here. And that was a change that had to happen. They took on this contract. Now they're trying to move the contract, but it's just crazy how the narrative can change in 24 hours. And Kings fans are like, "Oh my God, like Seth Bones is good." Yeah, we try to tell you that, right?
dude, I told everyone. I screenshotted it to you too. I said, "Hey, all of you guys, keep my receipts because I'm telling you this right now. I'm not, and this isn't me saying that I don't think Halliburton could be
Yeah,
that next
I'm not saying that
upcoming
either.
$200 stock. Like he could be an all-star. He could be better at one point than Fox. He could be at one point better than Sabonis.
But it won't even
But
matter
you
because if
traded
the Kings
away
start winning, that's all that matters.
Right. You traded away the word potential to lock in 2 bona fide 20-point per game scores. And again, this is something that, and I'm glad I'm going to keep bringing this up over and over and over again, is that the reason why Fox was so good last year and the years leading up to this point that got him the max contract was that in his entire basketball career, he has been a point guard that had the ball in his hands full time. He got to be able to dictate the offense, dictate the pace of the game. This year, the reason why I believe he struggled so mightily to start the year is he had to adapt to a new role. They said, we liked what Halliburton did with the ball in his hands in his rookie year. We want to move you to the shooting guard spot. And we want you to become a slasher and a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter and find your spots in isolation moves, which then led to a very stagnant offense that was a pick and roll, and if there's nothing there, pop it out to the shooter or just force something. With a big man now that, and I said this at the postgame show, Sabonis makes you move because he'll stop the ball and tell you exactly where to go. There's a point in the fourth quarter where he told Davion Mitchell to move so he can screen for Fox, and then that led to a 2-man game between Mitchell and Sabonis that led to a pop-out game-sealing 3 from Harrison Barnes. It's just a flow of an offense, and I love that, and I love the fact that the Kings gave up 0 first-round picks to do it. I don't know if I would use the word fleece because I think that the Pacers and the entire NBA world is very high on Tyrese Halliburton, and to have him
that's just a
with Rick
narrative thing,
Carlisle
bro. Yeah, but again, and I used this analogy yesterday. If it was the opposite, the Kings trading away Sabonis for Tyrese, the narrative would have been different.
Too.
Like,
no, they would just get the same hate. They would just get the same hate.
Yeah, like, oh my God, the Pacers got an all-star at 25. And it's just, that's what would have been the narrative. And again, the whole DeJounte Murray thing. I get it. DeJounte's a superb defender, locked down, better defender than Fox. But if you compare, team success with individual success, very similar seasons, he gets a nod for an all-star. this year, and you're just like, what the? And it's a real thing. Until the Kings start winning games, they're gonna get ridiculed no matter what they do, no matter what they say. And Monty McNair, I I I hate to be wrong, but I'm glad that I'm wrong. He proved me wrong because he shut my mouth and he gave up his guy in Tyrese. I didn't think that was gonna happen. He made it happen, and I'm so happy he made it happen. I know someone said something about Bagley's dad. I don't even want to talk about him. Like he's been a cancer here in Sacramento. So and I think that came from who was it? That came from Legacy Wedding, I think. But oh yeah, there you go. So Legacy Wedding about his dad. Yeah, he's been toxic. Just his tweets were unnecessary on so many levels. You had that Fox against Bagley going back and forth, right? Like that was funny. It just comes to show. Like I put the caption yesterday: best caption wins a free pizza, and I think it was Ty. More than anything, was like, I'm here. I'm supposed to be the guy that Bagley was supposed to be, right? Like it was just a. Let's read what he said because I don't want to sell it short of like how good the caption was for him. And here it is. He said, Ty said, "Don't worry, you won't have to have nightmares about Bagley anymore." And that literally summed up Bagley's tenure. Because when you pass up on Luka, on Jaren, for Marvin Bagley, you're telling Fox, like, damn, like, the best player you've ever played with is Tyrese Halliburton. Just think about that and just let that sink in, bro. Like, the best player he's ever played with was Tyrese. Again, that's not a knock on Tyrese. That just comes to show how much talent Jaren has played with. And now he has a bona fide star who I've been in love with for a long time. And I'm just so glad that they pulled the trigger on him. Just so glad.
Leo.
I was hoping they just got a star, like, period. And they did.
Leo, tell everyone how much I love Sabonis.
A lot, like, bro. Like, go back to like our 5v5s. Like, he was saying, like, he better than Bam. Like, he's a Jokic of the East. Like, it's on record. Vince was super high, and I mean, I've loved Sabonis since his college days, but I didn't love him like that. Like over Bam, I was like, damn. Like for like that, he was like, yeah, he better than Bam, and I'm like, damn, okay. And now I'm like, I still don't know about that, but it's a good. I mean, it's a good debate to have. Like they're both really good. Like they're both really good.
His defense is not on Bam's level. No, but I'm just talking about offensively. He is crazy. I just love that he's
a better offensive player.
I'm gonna say that he's a mixture of Vlade and Cousins. He really is. He's Vlad Cousins. Like he is nasty. And I love the ability to, and again, this is my favorite part about the scheme of these two players is the Kings constantly preach, push the ball, space and pace, push the ball. Okay, that's something that they can still use because we got to see Sabonis take the ball up the break multiple times in last night's win. But now you get to have such a very flexible half-court set where it's
hey, that's Sabonis and we're all getting Sabonis.
I've had one for a long time.
Oh my god, that's funny.
But yeah, I mean, the Kings get to run a half-court set now. They can run triangles. Their offense is not so one-dimensional. And again, Sabonis dictates the offense by not even having the ball in his hands. And again, right. I saw someone wrote in the chat section before. I mean, he could be the leader that everyone's looking for. And again, I think this. I think people want to see someone that's like constantly cheering and rah, rah, rah. And again, the one thing that's great about Tyrese is he is a great talker, and he does carry this energy around him that's just, electric. It illuminates everywhere. You know what I mean? But Sabonis, he's capable of just.
He seemed energized, bro. After every like bucket, he was just like, yeah.
He does that all the time, though. Like. I watch the Pacers way too often, bro. He screams over a dunk. His first basket, by the way, should have been an and one. Just so you guys know. I mean, that's how that I watched the game twice already.
But even if he didn't make the pass, he was so genuinely happy for his teammates, getting layups, cutting off weak side. Like and it was contagious. Fans, even though it wasn't a great attendance, it felt like it was because the fans were
It was
rocking
loud.
last night.
It
Like
was
it was
loud. Yeah, it was
loud.
loud.
It we're re-energized, and hopefully more sponsors come on board because we making phone calls to get more money. Because man, it's been dry. It's been sad the last month, the last 5 months of basketball. But I think these next 20 whatever game, 27, 26 games left are going to be electric in terms of not. I don't know how many wins, but I'm gonna tell you what, the Kings would be competitive. They're not gonna get blown out anymore, and they may start
No, I don't know
covering
about
these
that.
spreads. No,
They need.
I believe that. Like they're covering
I think
spreads.
there's
Like
gonna
last night
be.
was the
I
first
think
spread they
there's gonna
covered.
be a little bit of a. I don't want to overhype one game until I see what the rest of these moves leading up to this hour and a half, an hour until the trade deadline.
You just got
I
better
don't
though.
want to. Yeah, no.
Like
They
you
went
just
from
got better.
having no wing depth. They went from having no 3-and-Ds to like
So
relying on Mo Harkless to now having Barnes, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, Donte DiVincenzo, and Josh Jackson. I know the Kings are making another move though, because you can't have Alex Len, Damian Jones,
so
Chemezi
that's the
Metu,
question, right? From
and
Cody.
Rashawn
If you
Holmes.
were Monty, do you move Holmes and the first this year for a starting level wing, or do you trade Holmes for equal value and keep the pick? Go ahead, Vince.
I mean, I don't see it being a bad idea to keep Holmes. Like,
I,
it's good to
I don't
have.
either.
I've always said that and you can
You
attest to
have, you
this.
have, you have, you have.
I've always said that Rashawn Holmes is a really good backup center. Starting caliber. Obviously, he was a starter here. He could be a starter for the Hornets. Starting caliber center. But to me, in my eyes, he's always been a backup. And if he's your backup center,
But
he's
that's
a
not a knock
really
on him,
good
right?
player to
That's
have.
that's more
No, 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 no. It's
that's you
just
giving him praise that he's like he could be a starter, but if he's your backup, that means you're a good team, right?
right. And he's under a great contract. Like 4 more years of him being your backup. I still say the Kings need a sharpshooter. Why not see if you
Is
can get
Dante a
Malik Beasley
sharpshooter
for
too?
Alex Len? I think he's like a Josh Hart-esque player. Like he can be a shooter in certain games, and there's games where he'll be a little cold. I mean, he knocked it down at such a high clip, I believe, last season, like 38% last season or something like that, right? Like
He
he
was
was
like at
really good.
45 for a while. He dropped to like 42. I think he stayed like at 40, and then he got
Anything
hurt.
in the 40s is ridiculous. Anything in
Yeah,
the 40s is ridiculous. Anything. If you're at
right.
36 to 38%, like you're a pretty good shooter. If you hit the 40s, you're an elite
No,
shooter for
he
me,
was at
bro. Like
45
elite.
for a while, bro. Like a good 15 game stretch of just like shooting lights out. So again, context. It's a lot easier when you have Giannis throwing you the ball
Yeah.
and you're wide open.
Yeah.
But I said this earlier. You got Sabonis now, and you got Fox who religiously
It's not gonna
attack
be
the
Giannis.
paint. No, but he's gonna get shots though.
I think my favorite part about this Kings team and what Monty's doing is he is fully buying into the duo of Fox and Sabonis, and he's getting them 3-and-D players around them. Because if you can have that surrounding those two players, I mean, you're gonna have players that constantly keep moving. Like, you know what I mean? Like Donte DiVincenzo crashes the boards. Harrison Barnes, we saw it last night, crashes the boards, moves out to three. Those, you know what? The best part about Justin Holiday, same thing. Defensive, catch and shoot 3-point shooter, nasty. The thing I love about all of these additions and these names that I'm saying, Sabonis, Holiday, Barnes, and DiVincenzo, high IQ basketball. High IQ basketball. Ball never sits still. But all of these guys have been in the playoffs before. They have that experience. You're adding experience. You're adding consistency. You're adding professionalism next to De'Aaron Fox. After just signing him to the max, you're finally saying, "Hey, we gave this man the keys last year, and you know what? It's time to build around him correctly." You added in the last 3 years, 2 years, you've added players that play the exact same position as the player that you gave the keys of the franchise to, that you said this is our franchise centerpiece, and then said, but here's more guards to add with him. It just never really made sense to me. So I feel like they're fully buying in. I applaud Monty for this move. I love this move to get a 2-time All-Star next to Fox. And look, if I trade Holmes, I'm gonna want it to be for
A
someone that can
starting
play
level
that
wing.
4 and a
Yeah.
shooter. Yeah, I mean it's that power forward and a shooter. I mean, Again, PJ Washington is out there. Do you reach out and say, hey, do you guys really believe in Drummond in Brooklyn? Or would you guys do
you
2
drop
first-round picks?
Trey Lyles?
Do I drop Trey Lyles? Yes. I like Metu more than I like Lyles, to be honest.
Me too. I literally said earlier, I'm like, I think I'm going to go with Metu. Just based off, athleticism alone, like, he works well off of Sabonis.
Could you get Joe Harris for Sean Holmes?
No. I think the Nets say no to that because they like
They just
Clax.
got Seth Curry.
I mean,
it gets them off $17 million.
That would be amazing for the Kings. But
you know what I mean? Like they just got off $17 million.
Joe Harris would be the ideal perfect player for the Kings. Like if there's a perfect player for them, that's Joe Harris.
Ty asked me yesterday, and I'll tell you right now, I said your favorite guy, but he asked me who's the better shooter between these 3 names, and he named
that's tough.
Buddy,
I saw it.
Joe Harris, and Duncan Robinson. And I said Buddy's to me is the best between the 3, and then it goes Joe and Duncan.
I would say pure shooting, yes. Like pure shooting, Buddy is just a fucking animal. Like people don't understand. Watching him in person, being with him in the Bahamas for 7 days, and just watching the work ethic and the work he puts into his shot, it's out of this damn world. Like it truly is, which is why you'll never hear front office member, a teammate, say that he's just a gym rat. Like that's just what he does. That's how he got this far, by not being athletic, by not playing defense. It's because he puts so much work into the shot. So yes, I would have him as a just pure shooter, number 1. I would have Duncan number 2, and then I would have Joe number 3.
Really? I think Duncan is purely like off the screen catch and shoot, where like Joe Harris and Buddy, the reason why I put them higher is they can grab a rebound.
You don't want to leave Duncan open, bro.
Stop and pop.
You don't want to leave Duncan open. Like Duncan's just a sniper.
Hey, look at this. As part of this deal, James Harden has already said he's opting into his $47.3 million player option on his contract. So he said, I'll be back for the Sixers next year. Then he's going to get maxed out, and then it's going to be the Harden and Sixers combo. Damn, that's still the biggest trade of the day.
That's nuts, bro. Like, that was the right trade, honestly, for both teams because, as we know, like Ben Simmons wasn't coming back. So, but trading him to your rival in your division, knowing that you got to beat them, I think it's such a stupid thing. Like you just made them better
because you don't believe in them. Hold on. Hit the button. It's a small one, but hit the button. The Indiana Pacers are trading away forward Torrey Craig to the Phoenix Suns for Jalen Smith and a future second-round pick.
That's funny. He just came back from Phoenix too.
Man, he was on that team last year. I like Jalen Smith. Honestly, that's going to be Jalen Smith.
Craig was on the team last year for the Suns.
What?
Craig was on the Suns last year.
And guess what? He gets to go back. Winning habits.
Yeah, he's a tough player. I'm surprised he didn't come on the Kings trade, honestly.
Look, hey, I'm telling you this right now. The Pacers, lightweight building, a nice building block team. Halliburton, Duarte, and Jalen Smith. That's a nice building.
That's funny because I talked so much shit about how the Suns passed up on Hallie to get Jalen Smith, right? At number 10, you're like, what the hell did you do? And I'm not as high on him as you are. I'm still like, as a top 10 pick, you got to be better. But he has shown signs this season, I would say. But it's too early for me to say, wait. I'm like, well, let's wait. He's had some good stretches. He's had some bad stretches. He's also playing on a team that really optimizes him and makes his life very easy. Like, if all you got to do is roll. Does he get that
again, though, with Tyrese? Does he get that again with Tyrese? Because Tyrese built such a great connection with Rashawn. But he built such a great connection with Rashawn to where, Jalen Smith can do that same thing. But the cool thing about what Jalen does is he has that nice mid-range pop, too. I mean, I don't know. I can see that. I think that they're building a nice, rebuilding core. Ryan says, what about John Collins for the Kings? I think that would be the guy. That would be
Is that
the
what you do
guy.
though? Like, is that the direction that you head in? And you're pretty much saying because uh, Kings fans should book it right now, and I'm gonna say it right now. They're gonna extend Sabonis this summer, and when they do that, he'll be a max, right? It's like super max. Fox is super max, and if you trade for John Collins, that's a super max. He's getting paid 25 million, I believe. That's your core now, okay? And you got to think about these things, and it's premature because they got to make the playoffs first, and you got to have playoff success. But are you comfortable with those three guys, Vince? Hampering your salary for the next 4 years.
John Collins, Harrison Barnes,
No. It's
Sabonis.
they're going to trade Harrison Barnes for John Collins. It's not a I'm getting John like
So
that's the only way.
you're saying Barnes and Holmes for
Yeah,
Collins. I think Harrison Barnes is such a key piece unless you're gonna.
he is.
I mean, like he is such a glue guy.
He makes sense
You know,
now with Sabonis, like a lot
like
of
the most
sense.
sense. He hasn't had a passing big like this since Bogut, and look how good he played when he had Bogut, being able to get those rebounds and everything. Like it was such a, whew, man.
Hey, Eric
I
Gordon
don't
to
know.
the Kings would be nice.
I just don't think he fits the timeline. I just don't think he fits the timeline. Unless you're gonna get Christian Wood in that deal, I don't think he fits the timeline.
Do you
I
think
love the
Wood and
idea.
Sabonis could play well off each other?
What'd you say?
You
C
think
Wood
Christian?
and Sabonis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look what he played well with Miles Turner. I think that they would just be fine. It'd be the same as I think. I mean, Christian Wood likes to play as a small forward, anyways. He loves shooting that thing.
Would you rather have Christian Wood or John Collins?
John Collins.
Even at 25 million?
I mean, they're both. I mean, don't get it twisted. Christian Wood's about to get paid, like for sure.
That's
He only
fair.
has one more year after this. He's about to get paid too. So you're gonna have to pay one of them. I've seen so many reporting of Christian Wood getting frustrated quickly, and like throwing stuff at coaches. I mean, do you really want to bring like another Boogie Cousins into a new culture that you're trying to build here with professional? I mean, honestly, I see what Monty's doing. Like, it's professionalism. It's 3-and-D. It's a 1-2 punch of Fox and Sabonis. Like, I'm telling. Honestly, dude, like you said, the trade that has literally got me taken back that I wish the Kings should have been in the conversation for is Derek White. Like, bro, if you could have done Justin Holiday in a first-round pick, I think Justin Holiday is better than Josh Richardson. And you do
Wow.
Justin Holiday in a first-round pick for Derek White, that's a better first-round pick. If you think Josh Richardson's better, you're getting a better first-round pick then. You know
Would
what I
you
mean?
have
Than what
done?
the Celtics are going to give
Well,
you.
would you have done 2 firsts and Bagley for Derek White?
Yes.
Interesting.
I just think that having that number 2 guy still is big. Like having and I say this, and I know a lot of people hate me, and I say a lot of things that people hate anyways, but I think that finding a guard is a lot easier than finding the type of talent that Sabonis is at that center
Oh,
position.
facts.
Bro, but the national media and all of these guys on Twitter want to keep saying like, oh, you want to build, it's a guard heavy league. It's
It
hard to
is.
find a passing guard like Tyrese and things like that. I was like, it is a guard heavy league. And you know what? Tyrese is a genuine talent. That's nice. But you know how hard it is to find a passing big man that gets you 20 and 12
That can
and
start your
shoots not only
break.
efficiently from the field, can lead the break, shoots officially from the field at 56+%, 80% from the free throw line. Like, bro, come on now, calm down.
And like his handle is nice. I was shocked. It's really like I was like, what the?
Jokic to the
I mean,
East, made it out West. What up?
I was just like, wait, what? What am I watching right now? Like he's literally behind his back, crossover. I was like, what the? This is a
Hey,
6'11" center doing this, right?
watch when he dribbles. He palms the ball when he dribbles. He gets in trouble for that occasionally, but he's a palmer because his hands are so big. Pause. But like, you know what I mean? Like it's. Hey, I'm gonna be
Oh
honest, bro.
god.
I don't buy jerseys. I never buy jerseys ever. If he signs a 5-year max, I didn't even buy Fox's jersey, and I think Fox is really good. if he signs the 5-year max to stay here and they build around Fox and Sabonis, a 24 and a 25-year-old all-stars type
Just
players,
buy it, bro,
I'm,
because it's done.
I'm
Done
buying
deal.
both of their jerseys. No. I'm not buying one. I'm buying both.
It's a done deal. Well,
That'll be right here. That'll be my background. Both
I
my
buy
jerseys.
Leo Bia's jerseys. I put Bia's on the
That's why
back
I don't buy.
because
I don't buy Kings jerseys. I never buy. I buy my I buy my own jersey. I don't want to have
it's
another
just
man's name on my
like
back.
it's not even that. It's just like it's a business. Like at any point, like all the people who had Tyrese jerseys, I bet they're furious right now. And if they didn't get that
That's what
Amex card, return policy, they ain't returning that jersey.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't buy jerseys. I buy jerseys with my name on it because I
Yep.
know I'm staying. I'm staying as
I'm
long
not
as
getting
I'm above
traded.
ground. You know what I mean?
I'm not getting traded.
This again, bro. Take this, screenshot this, do whatever. The Sacramento Kings, as long as they keep building the way that they're building, they have playoff. They're making the playoffs. I'll say this. I want to see these moves, but they are making the playoffs with Sabonis and Fox as their 1-2 punch. Not this year. I'm not saying this year. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's how high I am on this combination.
And people are gonna see just a rejuvenated, different version of De'Aaron Fox, and we saw it. It's funny.
Someone
it's
said I have
up.
a Tyrese jersey.
I hope you have a black Amex card, bro. No, like De'Aaron Fox, man. Again, and I'm the highest on him, right? I was, questioning myself. I'm like, damn, like my eyes don't deceive me when it comes to talent. I don't think it's a question of talent. It's really a question of mindset. And again, he has seemed disengaged, but when you really look at all the bigs, think about the bigs he's played with: Willie Cauley-Stein, Marvin Bagley, Alex Len. I mean, the best big he's ever played with is Rashawn Holmes, right?
And that guy built a better connection with Halliburton than he did with Fox, for being honest.
And it's just like, man, like let's start to, as you said, let's start to do things right and build the right pieces around De'Aaron, right? It's just Fox Ox now, and it's just going to be a beautiful thing to watch in the pick and roll. And it's funny because they both can't shoot, but you can't contain both of them from not getting to their spots in the paint. Like one, I can see it, but when you have those types of threats, it's just insane. Like I kept trying to tell people that I was just like, you can't stop two mother hovers, but just build a wall around one. But with two, the gravity that Sabonis provides in the short roll,
that's the thing too.
It's just like it's crazy. And again, De'Aaron can't shoot the three, but let's not act like he can't shoot the mid range shot. I mean, that's his shot. Like he's trying to get to the mid range shot.
Hold on. So look, let's keep talking about Fox for a second. You remember in the beginning of the year, first 15, 20 games, whatever. What was the biggest thing we kept talking about every show? We're like, man, Fox is really struggling. And again, I never really wanted to bring this up just because it's not something that you really talk about. It's just like, he is still the guy because his usage rate was still high. It was just in a different way. But he took the ball out of his hands. They made him a shooting guard. He had to develop into that role. He was shooting 39% from the field. He was not doing well. At this point of the season where the Kings are 2.5 games back or whatever of the 10th spot, he has upped his field goal percentage now to 46% from the field. Right? He's up to 75% from the free throw line, which is higher than what it was last year when he finished at 72% from the free throw line. He's back to over 20 points per game at 21.3, 5 assists, and he's dropped his turnovers per game from 3 to 2.8. So not significantly, but it's still a drop. You gotta give props where props is due. So he's continuing to improve, right? Over his last 2 games, now with the ball back in his hands, he gets to be the guy. He has 6 3-pointers in those last 2 games. He's shooting the ball. And the thing is, we were talking about how he was becoming an improved shooter last year. What was he at 33% last year as a 3-point shooter? You know why he was able to shoot the ball? He got to find a rhythm off the dribble. His catch and shoot game in the corner was getting better, really, but his shots came off the dribble from 3-point range. And he's going to have the ball. He's going to be able to do that. And I think you're going to see him being more willing to take those threes with a little bit more confidence because he's going to find his rhythm with the ball in his hands instead of being off ball.
And
So I think
right.
that makes him better.
Shout out to my mama. She said, "God bless your son. Love you." I do want to say this about Fox and Halliburton, how both you and I would talk about the connection of, or just the idea of Fox playing more off ball, but actually wanting to cut off weak side. Now, when you have a beast of a passer in the mid range, I think you'll see that connection a lot more too, because playing with high IQ 3 and D guys like Justin Holiday, who are going to set good screens for you, good back pictures, how you and me can, down screen, weak side. Like, if you are a willing guy and you're just rejuvenated to win games, like, and how the culture is going to shift, you'll want to do the dirty things. And that's what I try to tell people all the time. Like, it's not easy doing those things, just in general, but especially when you're just unmotivated, uninspired. And I just feel like, again, it's repetitive. People are going to see a different version of De'Aaron Fox. They're going to see a maximized, optimized version. And it may not be in the last, I don't know, 26, 27 games because of coaching. But if they make the right decision this summer, holy smokes, like this 1-2 duo could finally come to fruition in terms of how I've been praising Fox's talent. Now we can encapsulate it and actually measure it, right? Like, we can measure it next to a guy that is just so multi-faceted, talented and just in so many ways. So I'm just super excited, man. Like,
The
it's
thing I
it's
love
about
about the
damn
moves that the
time.
Kings are making too, the things I love about the things that the Kings are making too is, look, I don't think Fox is going to average 7 assists again. I really don't. I think his max is going to be 5, and I think you're going to start seeing what the biggest
I
weaknesses
don't.
for Fox.
I think it'll be 7.
I mean, okay, he gets to
Yeah.
7, but I mean, let's talk about
Yeah.
the biggest weaknesses for Fox. Biggest weakness for Fox, he can't shoot. Second biggest weakness is he's not the best playmaker in the world, right?
I
He's not the
disagree
best
with
playmaker.
that. I think he's a very good playmaker, but
I think he's a willing play. I think he's a willing passer.
his
But I
teammates
don't think that makes him a playmaker.
just don't hit shots. Right, like
We'll see.
it's tough to
He's
to,
score
to like
first
say
mindset.
that though, and that's okay.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's a willing passer. He's not a playmaker. Like, he doesn't have the playmaking ability of Tyrese, but he's a willing passer. He's willing to give it to the open guy, which you have to applaud him for.
He's
that.
willing
But
to find the open guy off of his scoring mentality, which is a good thing.
yeah, he's a point guard. He's a point guard.
Yeah.
He dribbles
Yeah.
with the setup. He's nice. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
But so his biggest flaws are playmaking to me and 3-point shooting. And what did you add? You added a big man that can get him open on down screen, so he can do a driving kick, which is his best way of playmaking. On top of that,
Right.
you added a facilitating big man that's willing to get the guys that are rolling to the basket on give and goes. You have a great combination for a give and go between him and Barnes last night. On top of that, you added shooting all around him. DiVincenzo, like we said, 40% last year.
Dragic to the Spurs.
That was an early trade, but he's gonna get
Bought out, right?
He's gonna get bought out, yeah.
Okay.
And Thad Young and Drew Eubanks went to the Raptors.
Wow. Interesting.
I think Thad Young's gonna get bought out, and I think he's one of those guys. Either Thad
weren't
Young
they
or
trying
Dragic.
to get what's his name? The
Pirtle?
center? Yeah, Pirtle.
Yeah, it didn't happen. So anyways, I think that you add those shootings around Fox, the ball is going to be constantly moving. You've literally helped him with his flaws. His playmaking isn't the best, so you added a passer, a versatile big man that can pass, as well as adding guys like DiVincenzo, good passer, decent passer, off catch and shoots and rebounding. And then you got shooting all around him, so he's not reliant on being just looking for Buddy Hield only. Like, this is literally how you build. Like, you build around a guy that you know is going to have the ball in his hands the most. And Fox is the guy that you want to have moving downhill, and you want to have an elite big man. Like, it blew me away how many people hated this trade.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. For the people, if we have 60 to 90 people watching, we should have 60 to 90 likes. We have 13 likes. Come on, y'all. Help your brothers out, Vince and Leo, and hit the like button or dislike. Either one helps. However you're feeling, I think you're in a good mood though. So hit the like button. Would really help out the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, man, it's just funny. I think it was Ryan. He was like, Fox was happy and smiling. Funny how much it changed. It's crazy. Like, that hug wasn't it just like
Did
a
you see my tweet?
classic? Well, let's let's post it. Okay, so screen share, right? Uh, let's go to Vince. Vince.
This was after the game last night. This was this morning, and being able to like really review everything after like
What did
seeing
Vince
the
say?
Kings win.
I hate this.
Right here, that one.
This one.
This was before the trade. This was like right when the trade happened.
I hate this trade.
I hate this trade.
Kings are dumb. What are they doing? They traded the wrong guard. After the win, wow, so that was really good. The most fun I've had watching Kings. Kings ran 2 guards, 2 forwards in the center line. I'm in love. Fox is 2023 All-Star. I'm a Kings fan now.
And by the way, those were quotes. I didn't at them because I didn't want to like call nobody out. Those are real quotes from people. And I'll throw this one out there because he doesn't follow me back. But the I'm a Kings fan now is from Worldwide Rob or whatever his name is, the guy from ESPN. He's the one who says I think I'm a Kings fan now.
Rob, like the guy that goes viral every day?
Yeah, he's the one who posted that. I'm a Kings fan now. Yeah, he said I think I'm a Kings fan now.
That's funny. I think I know who the Kings ran 2 guards, 2 forwards, in the center. I'm in love. I believe I know who said that.
Hey, look, bro. I'm just saying. These were the same people that were talking.
Who said Fox
like
is an All-Star? 2023 All-Star, if you don't mind.
I mean, he follows me. I don't follow him. I mean, it's just I was just reading it on there. You know.
Okay. That's
I don't want to call nobody out, but
okay.
I promise you, Fox 2023 All-Star was what he posted, and then I was like, those are real quotes. It's not like I was making that stuff up. That's why I'm having that stuff go out there because it's like, bro, take your emotions out of it. Take away this guy wanted to be here. Like, did you guys forget that Fox wanted to be here too? Those same statements of, I've been winning my entire basketball life. I'm going to bring winning to Sacramento. Was De'Aaron Fox. He said that too. You know what I mean? He earned that 5-year contract by the way that he played. And you guys are saying because of one bad year where he's still averaging 20 and 5, shooting 46% from the field.
And you don't maximize, like, you don't max. Again, there's this dude on Instagram that keeps talking shit. But, bruh, you don't max any of these players based on what they deserve. You're doing it based on what they can become. And I think that's such a misconception that so many guys, he's not a max player because he don't deserve it. It's like, what? No, that's just what the market is. Like, in the open market, De'Aaron Fox would have gotten that contract from anybody. Like don't kid yourself.
At the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, just look at the media talking about the Kings during the bubble. And how they said Fox is that guy. Fox is a dog. He just needs another guy next to him. Like, that was the big narrative, is that they didn't believe in the Kings because it was just Fox. And now they traded the wrong guard 2 years removed from that moment. I mean, it doesn't make much sense to me. And last year he had a career year.
That's just crazy.
And they were talking about him as one of the best guards. He was almost an all-star.
It's called a prisoner of the moment. And it's okay because too many people, like, it's been such a long time since. I'm like, dude, this happened last year. Like, he just came off a career year. Like, what are you talking about? But I think we forgot about Danny Green, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, and James Harden. So that's your projected starting 5. Thibault coming off your bench, right? That's going to be a good team. It's going to be a good team. I don't think they're better than the Nets on paper. I just think when you add a Ben Simmons to a KD and a Kyrie, that's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask you this. If the Kings don't make any more moves,
yeah,
what would you grade their trade deadline moves? Is it still an A day, or do you still think that there's too much of a cluster at the bigs? So you're like, maybe it's a A-, B+ type.
Well, they got to get rid of some players because they have too many players on the roster now.
Well, they were definitely waiving Trey Lyles, and I think Josh Jackson's a possible waive as well.
No.
You don't think so? You think they're going to keep Josh?
Yes, I do. They're making.
I used to be a Josh Jackson guy too.
That was a guy that I said would become a bust, and that was 100% accurate. Nothing to be proud of.
Josh Jackson a lot.
Yeah, like there's nothing to be proud of by saying that, but I just didn't see it. during the draft process work out, and I know I can confirm that if that swap didn't happen, which again, people forget, the Kings got the number 3 pick in that draft, and because of Vladdy's trade to the Sixers, they had to swap it to number 5. Vladdy was on Josh Jackson, so by default he got De'Aaron Fox, but that was his guy if he had number 3, which is just crazy to see how much worse it could have gotten for the Kings. Like it's been bad, but again, it could have been worse. And that was their guy. They get Josh Jackson now, full circle. Yeah, but fuck was I gonna say right now?
Reportedly, this is just coming out now, is that the Nets are looking to package Nick Claxton and the 2 first-round picks from the Sixers to acquire something to improve their roster. Does that get you Jeremy Grant?
Yes, it does. 100%. And if that's the move, oh man, they're going all in for the championship this year.
Jeremy Grant for 2 first. I mean,
what do you think the Warriors and
honestly,
what do you think the Warriors and the Suns are thinking right now? Like fudge.
Are they thinking, KD, you're a pussy for always having players on your team, or
yeah,
like,
they're like, bro. Damn. I think it's fascinating. The NBA just got really interesting.
Hit the button. We got another one. This is from Shams. The Washington Wizards are finalizing a deal to send Montrezl Harrell to the Charlotte Hornets.
And there it is. It was either Montrez or it was Rashawn. Both guys that they love.
Both guys. Yep. Those were the 2 they were chasing during the offseason also. Like, that's
for what though?
That was it. That hasn't come out yet. I'm sure that's going to come out here in the next few seconds. And when that does, we're going to hit that DJ button again. So you know what I mean? Like, well, just give it a second.
Montrez. What does that do? Like, he's not better than Rashawn. He's like the
it's
scoring
just another
push.
rebounder. They needed a rebounder.
I know,
does
but
that
like,
get them PJ? Does that get them PJ?
I don't know. Just
then
like
then your starting lineup is possibly Gafford or Bryant, whoever they like more. It would be PJ, Kuz, obviously Beal for now, and Spencer.
If you're the Kings, do you trade for Kuz right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But what do you give? I mean, you don't.
Do you trade for Bertans or no?
Nah. I don't trade for
No.
Bertans. I don't think so. I mean, he's not bad. It's just he's injury prone. I've always said he's injury prone. But yeah, so
because he's available.
All right,
and
hit the button. We got the news break. Here it is. The Charlotte Hornets are acquiring Washington center Montrezl Harrell. Charlotte Hornets Montrezl Harrell for Vernon Carey and Ish Smith.
What?
You want me to repeat it again?
Yeah.
The Charlotte Hornets are acquiring Washington center Montrezl Harrell for Vernon Carey and Ish Smith.
It's a great move for them.
They have no. I mean, they say Cody Martin's a backup point guard now.
Which he's played at Nevada. Shout out to the Wolfpack, baby. Woo 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 woo.
Oh, I think he's good as a point guard. When they needed him to play point guard today, he was solid. Hold on. What's that? What is that? Hold on. What is that? Points 14.3, 41, 7 assists, 1.7 steals. Taking the leap to Indiana, huh? How can we go on that? I want to hear what their reaction is. Just turn that on for a quick second, can we?
Yeah, we can. Let me turn on the volume.
Those numbers have gone up a lot for Halliburton. He's averaging over just 16 points and nearly 9 assists per game during that span. So why did the Kings, Q, move on from Halliburton? And what do you think that
why,
plan
Q?
is?
What the hell do you know, Q?
Sabonis pairing with De'Aaron Fox.
Wizards are trading Aaron Holiday to the Phoenix Suns.
I literally can't tell you why they moved on from him. I think that was, everybody in the NBA was shocked by that move, and I think if other teams were aware that they could possibly
oh my God, he's regurgitating bullshit.
You might have saw him going somewhere else for for a better deal or something more thrown on him. But I think
what else could you have
when
gotten
you
for
look at
Tyrese?
Sacramento,
Where
I
else
think
could
it
you have
boiled
traded
down
just a
to the
former
front
number
office
12 pick in
valuing
his second
Domantas
year
Sabonis, you know,
with
Clown,
a
more than they
bro.
$40
value
million
Tyrese
left on
Haliburton.
Buddy
Not just
Hield
because
to get a
they
two-time
wanted the
All-Star at
big.
only
He's
25
a
years old?
two-time All-Star. I mean, he's a great player in his own right. Nobody just expected Haliburton to be the guy that got moved.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
You're not
for everybody,
making no
even
sense. Like, you
Haliburton.
can't have it
I'm
both
sure
ways and
when
say he's
you
a great
found out
player
the
and then
news
no one
from his agent, however you found out about the news about him being traded. That
You
was
can
a
use
shock.
this now. I
My
don't.
question for you, PG,
They're
is
just.
about
I just wanted to
Sabonis
hear their
coming
initial
over
reaction.
to the Kings and how he will pair
Hold on.
with
Wait,
De'Aaron
one more.
Fox as well.
Well, it's a little bit of a puzzling move from that fit as well. I mean, Sabonis is a terrific back to the basket, bruising type player around the basket, very good passer. But he is not one of the elite defensive centers in the NBA. He's not a stretch big, so he's stretching the floor. And when you're talking about De'Aaron Fox needs space and an open floor to get downhill and get into the paint. I mean, shooting at this point of his career hasn't been his strong suit. He's a guy that likes to come off screens, get downhill, and get to the rim.
They surrounded him with shooting now.
On one hand, Sabonis, obviously an all-star center, but just in the NBA today, unless you're talking about really the elite centers, Jokic, Embiid, Rudy Gobert.
Oh, God.
The value of guards like Tyrese Haliburton that could shoot and make threes off the dribble and pass like he can.
Oh, my
Look, he has
God.
work to do defensively. His body's a little bit thin. But that's not the kind of moves that you are seeing a lot of NBA teams making today.
Yeah.
Look at the center market and the centers that are going to be available.
This
for
guy's a
agency.
clown.
It's a long list that you can piece together. That list isn't long of guys that can shoot off the dribble.
True. I mean,
Shoot off the dribble. Okay. Okay. Let's stop the cap here, bro. Shoot off the dribble. I was literally having this conversation about Tyrese yesterday with a lot of people, like big time people in this industry, and it's a consensus that he's been working on it, with Rico Hines, but and I'm gonna say it again, bro. He is very limited. Let's not act like he's a guy that's gonna get his own because he has yet to prove that. I'm sorry, a stretch of 5 effing games is not he's a guy that can get his own shot. Stop it. He's a guy that feeds off of De'Aaron Fox and gets open shots. Can he do it? Sure.
Wait till you guys start seeing Sabonis shoot the top of the key three in transition.
And it has nothing to do with it. has everything to do with. Wait till you see defenses make him an actual focal point and actually put longer guards on him. With actual length.
Let's see what he does when he has applied pressure through both screens. When you can't, when he's gonna get pushed all the way out. I mean, I'm not saying that Tyrese isn't gonna be good, but it's a lot easier when teams are sagging off of De'Aaron Fox and Fox has to learn how to be a shooter in that way. Like that's why I think he struggled early on was they threatened him to shoot, especially if you're gonna get it off the catch and you're not gonna have the ball in your
now you got a threat
bring,
in Sabonis that you have to respect, or if not, you can't.
Exactly. And they said he's a bad shooter, which is true. I mean, that's always been his big thing. But bro, you can put shooters around De'Aaron Fox, and it's different. Sabonis missed the top of the three key bad last night. I'm not saying he makes them every time. I'm just saying Sabonis shoots those threes and he makes them, and he hits them in key moments. Look, I'm not saying Tyrese isn't going to be good. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on what Tyrese can be. All I'm saying is if the roles were reversed, and the Kings traded Sabonis for Tyrese and what they would not be saying, they would be saying something completely different.
Yep.
And
100%.
It would still be hate on the Kings.
All
but
right, so
breaking news again.
See.
If we want to
so
hit that
the
button,
Wizards are
just 'cause we
trading
didn't
Aaron
have it.
Holiday to Phoenix.
Yep. Hit the button. Hit the button. You know what I mean? You gotta hit that button. Aaron Holiday's going to Phoenix as well. You know what I mean? That's solid.
So the Holiday brothers have gotten moved.
Holiday brothers got moved.
Hey, how about this?
But
Suns Kings this year in a 1-8 matchup.
A 1-8 matchup? Not happening this year.
If they get the 10 seed, which they will.
I don't see them going to. They'll make them two. They'd have to win 2 games back to back. They're not having it.
They'll beat the Lakers. And then they'll beat the T-Wolves.
Wouldn't they have to play? Wouldn't they have to play the Pels?
Oh, it's either the Pels or the Kings that are making the 10 seed.
They're not beating the Pels. They ain't beating the Pels.
With no Zion?
I don't even think they needed Zion. I'm telling you, I don't think they beat the Pels. I think the Pels. I really don't know because I feel like Josh Hart played such a good defensive presence for them, and
He was a heart
rebounded
and
from the
soul of that
guard
team,
spot.
bro.
Yeah, Herb Jones is nasty. I'll give him credit where credit's due. Herb Jones is gross.
I know, but Josh Hart was a heart and soul of that team. Like, dudes are crying.
Ah, man, what's next? I need to know what's next for Sacramento because there's just so many centers on this team where you have to assume there's something next.
I think
You
it's
have to
Alex
assume.
Len. I think it's Alex Len. Alex Len. I don't know.
Mo Harkless and TD for Malik Beasley. Make it happen.
I
Make it happen, Gavin.
I think Rashawn Stain.
I think so too. I think that's fine. I think you should be perfectly okay with him being your backup.
Do you see them playing together? Because I do.
I mean, there's going to be lineups where it's capable of happening, but I'm just saying a starting five of, what we saw last night, which was what? Barnes, Sabonis, Holiday, Fox, and Metu.
I just think he eliminated. Honestly, Vince, and I've told you this 1,000 times. The reason why he hasn't looked as or better defensively in Rashawn is because he's had such bad, Tyrese, Buddy, Fox when he's disengaged.
No, Fox is bad at closeouts, bro. Fox is horrible at closeouts. Right.
But on ball defense, when he's engaged, he's just really good. Let's be honest. He's really good.
Lazy.
But
he's one of the worst.
Yes, he's very lazy. That's it. But he's capable of being better though. But now with better wing depth, and I think with Rashawn, being a great weak side rim protector, I think it works, man. Because then you take that pressure off of Sabonis. You know what I'm saying? Because Sabonis is so bad defensively sometimes, or he has been in the past. I just think it makes sense.
Look, you can run a horn set.
Yeah,
if you do it that
absolutely.
way. You run a horn set with those two.
Or an iteration of the Princeton offense with those two.
I just think of it as if you're going to run the Metu lineup right, that's fine. And I'm not fully sold on Metu being a starter, but he's
I think
fine.
it's Rashawn Holmes. I think it's Rashawn, Sabonis, and HB.
But that second unit, bro, that defensive potential in that second unit right now of
Davion and Rashawn.
Donte DiVincenzo. Do you start? How about that? How about do you start White Donte now?
Yeah, you do.
Bro, you can do a lineup where it's Sabonis, Barnes, Holiday, and White Donte with Fox, and then off the bench you got Davion Mitchell.
It's a team now, bro.
Davion Mitchell, Metu, Rashawn Holmes.
Or you start Rashawn,
Lamb.
and then you bring Damian Jones as your big off the bench.
Look, man, I don't know. I want to see lineups.
Tell me without telling me that the team got better.
Bro,
this team got better, bro.
This team just has a real identity now.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
This team got better. Let's be honest.
You can play fast. You can play slow. You're not reliant on one set of offense where it's push the pace, and that's it. You have something to work with here. And it's crazy that no one ever saw this coming.
Oh man.
But hey, man, I only got
share,
5
and
more
subscribe.
minutes.
Yeah, me too. So 5 more minutes because I gotta get to this show. But yeah, man, it's been a hell of a day so far, honestly.
Well, you want to go ahead and review what happened, the trade that's happened so far for the Kings, just in case people are just now joining in. They probably heard it. What's the exact deal? So the exact deal for the Sacramento Kings, and this was reported earlier, was the first trade made of the day. Sacramento Kings were a part of a 4-team deal where they shipped off Marvin Bagley to the Detroit Pistons, and in return they got Donte DiVincenzo, they got Josh Jackson, and they got Trey Lyles. The Milwaukee Bucks received cash compensation, Serge Ibaka, and 2 future second-round picks, where the Clippers received Rodney Hood and Semi Ojeleye. And that was the deal that has. And again, you have to applaud Monty for making a guy that we all viewed as like no value at all, and you get two really good wing defenders and a serviceable, skilled-ish Trey Lyles. You know, I think Trey Lyles is good. It's just I feel like he's more like a Spurs player than anything else. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's a Spurs guy.
I just think he's the odd man out. Again, I think he's a good player too, but I just think he's the odd man out unless they make another move. But because they got to cut somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like,
holy crap! Hit the button again. Washington Wizards are in full sell mode as the Washington Wizards are now trading Spencer Dinwiddie to the Dallas Mavericks. Gut feeling, is it Jalen Brunson?
oh my God.
I lied to you. The Mavericks are trading away Kristaps Porzingis in the deal for Spencer Dinwiddie. Porzingis to the Washington Wizards.
Holy smokes. What a move, though, for both teams.
Hit it again, bro. That's another crazy deal, bro. The Washington Wizards are trading Spencer Dinwiddie to the Dallas Mavericks in reportedly a deal that involves Kristaps Porzingis. They just signed Dinwiddie, and now you're gonna put him next to Luka. Sheesh, that's the team, right? I think that's a great move for both sides. I mean,
yeah, it's a great move for both sides.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I like it.
Oh my
wow.
gosh. So
my God.
It's just like a 1-for-1, or let's see.
Yeah, I mean, there's no news yet. It just says that Dallas is sending Kristaps Porzingis to the Wizards. The Wizards are sending Spencer Dinwiddie to the Dallas Mavericks.
Who said that?
It doesn't say the actual Shams. It doesn't say the exact frame of the deal just yet. That's why I like to wait for Woj, because he just doesn't want to be the first. He wants to have all of it done at one time. That's why I'm a Woj supporter and a Shams listener. All right, let's see. So here's the deal from Wojnarowski. The Mavericks are sending Kristaps Porzingis to the Wizards for a package centered around Spencer Dinwiddie. So there's probably going to be more. Oh my gosh, did they get Denny Avdia too?
Oh my God, that's a great move.
Did they?
That's what I think the Kings should have got.
Who's Denny?
Yeah. You're sleeping on this boy, man. Like, this dude is 6'9", 6'10", great mechanics. Just like Davion Mitchell. Like, it's only
there it is. So this is from Tim McMahon. He says the Mavs are trading Kristaps Porzingis to the Wizards for Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. Hit the button. There it is.
Shooters. They're going all in on Luka, and they're like, you know what? We lost Tim Hardaway. Let's put some more self-creation and shooting.
Man, does that free up a lot more minutes? Does Bertans
Who starts now
factor?
for the Mavericks in terms of like their center position?
Powell.
Yeah.
Kleba.
Yeah.
Willie Cauley-Stein.
Willie, shout out to Willie, bro. Oh man.
Mr. Arts and Crafts out there, boy. He's the man. Sarcasm, guys.
Man, yeah, I think Rashawn's staying. You heard it here first.
I really think the Kings are gonna go get. I really think the Kings are gonna.
I just got a text message. I think he's staying. And I'm not mad at that because again, like you said, whether he starts or comes off as like the super sub 6-man type of thing, I think it could work, man. It could work with the right coach. I just don't know if AG is the right coach. Actually, I know he's not the right coach.
Question for you. Yeah, Willie did get waived. That was sarcasm. Skip.
He did?
Interview question for you. Yeah, he got waived from the Mavs. Interview question for you. You know Rashawn. You're pretty close with Rashawn and his team. Do you think he is going to be upset or a little in his feelings at the fact that they signed him here and assuming that he was going to be the starting center for the Kings, and now he's shifting back to the bench role?
I think he he has the right team around him and the right attitude to accept it. I think it's human nature for any of us, right, to get benched or to have a lesser role. But if you have the maturity, which he does, he can move on real quick. And if he can see the bigger picture, which I believe he does, and for the betterment of the team, he's a great teammate and just a great human being, and just overall, he's going to thrive in that position. Whether he starts, comes off the bench, because that's just what good basketball players do. So I think he's at the level, at the stage of his life where he's mature enough to really accept that, whether he likes it or not. Like those are two different things, right? Like some players, hate it, or some players accept it, embrace those types of roles. Like Ginobili, knowing that he's one of the best players in the league. I don't care. I'm coming off the bench, and that was one of the big criticisms for Buddy. But I would tell people like, yeah, his ego is, yes, I want to start, but he's always told me that if the team was winning and his role was to be the sixth man, which it became this year, then he would be happy as long as he had like a true defined role and he was getting minutes, which he got a lot of minutes coming off your bench. It just comes to how you present it to a player, and if they can buy into whatever the vision of the team is. And I believe Richaun is more than capable of believing, buying in, and embracing his role.
Yeah, I like his role as an off the bench big. Like I still envision him getting 25 to 28 minutes a night. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he can play next to Sabonis. He can be the guy off the bench. And look, man, like he's really good when he's locked in defensively. And if you have guys that are good on the perimeter, his help side defense is what made him so
that's
good.
what I love about it. And that's what I was saying earlier to you. Like I just feel like if he complements Sabonis' weaknesses, which that's a weakness for him, you can have this weak side rim protector, right? That has a push shot. Like he still has some type of gravity though. Like it's not like he's just like a rim runner. Like he has that push shot, which is huge in terms of creating gravity for others. So you're right. I just think it's a really good fit, just in general, man. Like the team gets better if you move that type of caliber player to your bench. Period.
The worry that I have obviously is Kings shooting, and I'll stay worried about that because this is a 3-point shooting league now.
Sure.
But again,
but
I
what
don't know why
if
my nose is up
what if
but I can break through it.
yeah, but what if Davion starts to hit 37% and Fox 35%? Does that change things? Changes a lot of things.
I just think that the willingness to shoot, and if they start dropping it doesn't even need to be 35, bro, just 33% from those two guards. And I think Mitchell is very robotic. I think that shot is pure. Like, it's finding NBA legs. Like, I think that shot's going to start falling. Like,
Me too, bro. And if that starts falling, then you eliminate some of these worries.
His catch and shoot game in the second half of last night's game, Davion's, bro, it was crazy. It was crazy. No more breaking news. It's just opinions now from people. All opinions at this point.
Sacktown, Jeremy Marcus, Sacktown, born and raised. Move Barnes. We have 44. We have 44 minutes. What does that mean? Oh, we have 44 minutes. Oh, no, we have. Wait, is the deadline at 12:30 or at 12?
I think it's at 3 p.m. I think it's at 12. So.
Okay, so Bagley and Hill finally gone. Black and brown boxing. Lakers should want to trade Russ for Buddy. Trade him to
honestly,
Indiana.
I might help him.
Just keep.
DeJounte Murray, after seeing the trade that Derek White got traded, posted this.
Oh my gosh.
That's Derek White's tweet, or DeJounte Murray's tweet over the trade. It's
Yeah.
Kevin Hart saying, "What the fuck?" It's funny.
Just keep getting rid of low IQ players and replacing them with high IQ players. Will be fine.
What's Dallas gonna do with Jalen Brunson now?
People saying Pacers didn't want Fox, like they were on the phones with Monty. And again, just to maybe end it on this, and I want people to think about this. I said this earlier. I'm gonna say it again. Vince wasn't here for this, but a major reason that I believe was because of the contract and because of the direction that the Pacers are heading in. That would have been a lateral move for them to get a let's be honest, like an all-star level player in Fox for an all-star like Sabonis. Like that just wouldn't make sense. And on top of that, they were trying to shed salary, right? To like get, and just restart. But I pose this question. And it's to prove one point that Fox is a better player now. It's what if both of these guys today on February 10th were on rookie scale deals and both of them were on max scale deals? Who would you choose? Honestly. Fox. So like full circle, like if they were both getting paid 30 plus and they were both getting paid $6 million plus, you're going to choose Fox, the bigger talent. But because one's getting paid 6, or I don't know what it was, 6, 7, and the other guy's paying 30 plus, yeah, duh. Like, I get it. And that's what people need to just stop getting emotional about this. Like, Fox is having a down year by his standards, but it's still better than so many players that wish they could do what he can do. And that's just a fact.
He has the same exact stat line as Jaylen Brown, just so everybody knows. His stats are very equivalent.
And it's crazy. Like the disrespect. Kings fans always have a scapegoat, and it's Fox. But I think a lot of that perception will change, man. Like, for someone to say he don't have the heart, he don't care, I think it's so disrespectful. Like, it's okay to say someone's trash, but to question their heart and, like, knowing that I know that that's not true, like, that he doesn't care, I of course he cares, but just, Vince painted the picture well. Look at what they've done to surround him with talent. Like, they haven't done much. Like, it's tough. Like, this goes both ways. It's a business. And you need talent to win games. And they finally, for the first time in his tenure as a King, they got him an all-star to play with and to flourish and succeed with. And that's a big thing. And that's why you crack a smile like that. And that's why you emotionally hug a dude, because you're like, damn, like, this is what it should have been like.
You're that good, bro. You're that good, bro. Like, bro, I got a legit all-star next to me.
Yeah, he's just like, damn. Like you're an ox.
And this is the last thing I'll say about this team too, is before heading into this season, the optimism that was around this team is it was going to be, almost on any given night, one of these guys can go off for 20 points with Fox. One of these guys. Could it be Hallie? Could it be Buddy? Now, every single night, this guy, you have two guys that can score 25. And one will get you 7 to 10 assists. One will get you 15 rebounds to 20 rebounds and 5 assists. Like, I'm just saying, man, like they are allow you to either push the pace or run a half-court set. You're not one-dimensional anymore. You've opened up the game. You've opened up the playbook because of what you're able to do with a 1-2 combo of a point guard and a center. And it works still in the NBA today. You can't say it's not a 1-2 punch league when you have guys like Chris Paul and Ayton looking great. When you have Trae Young and Capella, or Trae Young and John Collins, however you want to look at that, being where they got last year. Or even Jokic and Jamal Murray, Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. The playbook opens up more when you have a nice 1-2 punch. It's hard to find talent at that center position that can do things like Sabonis can do. I said he's the Jokic of the East, and I stand by that. I'm one of the most excited and biggest supporters. Go ahead and screenshot me. Go ahead and take down all my receipts, because you know what? I stand by it. The Kings, if these two are their duo that they build around, they'll be a playoff team. But that's all I can say, Leo. I gotta get run out of here, man.
That's gonna do it, man. If any deals break, it'll be on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Might do another pod later today, but first we gotta get to what we gotta get to. I appreciate you, Vince, my brother. Skip, everybody. Thank you guys again. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys. We'll see you very, very soon. Peace.